So I wanted to update you on some things that are soon to be launched here on our LinkedIn group of Future Fit leaders. Our Future Fit model will soon be relaunched in a much more updated way that's leaning much more into adaptive leadership, recognising how we're all needing to make many adaptations and leading multiple changes. It's trickier than ever, we're hearing from you all. And seeing around us. And talking about leading change as if change is an event to lead and then it's fixed and solved is really a thing of the past. And so we're going to be speaking a lot more into the world that moves beyond that narrative, really, beyond restructures and processes and strategy documents, into recognising how you all are needing to be leading on massive transitions, new technology, new expectations, new ways of working. The younger generations, we're talking about the alpha generation coming in, massive differences in how they're going to be working and what's going to engage them. So there's so many transitions happening. And there's also transitions in people's lives as a whole. The way we're living as a whole is shifting and changing. And that impacts on how people are showing up, obviously, also in their work and their capacity for their work. It often feels like as we're stabilising one thing, something else shifts. So little room for that kind of business as usual aspect of things. And adaptive leadership as a frame really allows us to accept this world and look for new ways in which we can work together to navigate it in more effective, healthy, productive ways. What we're also talking about is moving beyond where we're responsible as leaders to solve technical problems, where we've got expertise we can bring to the table, there's an issue, we can fix the issue, measure the improvement from that and then move on. The adaptive leadership challenges are different, as you'll all have experienced, because when we need things to change at this level, we're also talking about human beings and their limits and their mindset and their habits and their behaviours and sometimes even people's identities. And there's no one leader that can solve all of that. So what we're looking at here is how can we learn together in this group and in the work that we do, because there's all sorts of transitions going on where we need real world stories about not looking for success as such, but looking for ways to navigate, improve, learn, and to share the progress that's being made in these adaptations. Because one of the key things here is that as we transition to the new world, we're kind of this sort of bridge in between at the moment, we have to accept that there's an awful lot of human reaction, emotion that surfaces. And so as leaders, we're also needing to get really skillful in managing our own distress, emotions, and also being able to role models this to others and work with others to help them to work with the emotions that are coming up with this level of transition. So we're not talking about eliminating distress. We're very much kind of looking at how can we work with the emotions that are present in a much more effective way. Because the reality is that this kind of change creates loss of familiarity, loss of mastery, and in that loss there is a discomfort for us all. There's excitement as well. There's often anticipation, excitement, pleasure, all sorts of positive things about the future that we're entering into. But there will also be some uncomfortable emotions, and we don't want to overwhelm and overload people with those, but we can't avoid them either. So we want to keep people in that productive zone of leaning into the challenges, being stretched, being open to the learning, but not being overwhelmed. It's important that people can manage these transitions with skillful perspective from the kind of the dance floor where we're in the details, as well as the perspective of being on the balcony and looking at the patterns, noticing where the energy is coming from, where there's tensions, where there's clashes. And we also are working with leaders and recognising ourselves the importance of giving work back to the people. So this is that shift from not being the expert, the chief problem solver, the person who has all the answers. Not about being the hero in the organisation, but actually what are the questions that we need to ask? What needs to be surfaced? How can we create safe spaces for people to wrestle with things and for tensions to be talked about and explored and in dialogue? And really to make sure that we're showing up in a way where we're helping people feel safe and steady within all of this flux and change. People are going to be looking to all of you, as emotional barometers. If we're showing up in ways where we're transmitting anxiety or fear, that will be amplified in the system. But if we can model steadiness and curiosity, that also will be amplified. So we're going to be talking a lot less about driving change, but more about how we hold space for ongoing adaptations. Less about having answers and more about helping people navigate identity shifts. Less about restoring stability and more about building capacity to live without it. Because there is just a reality, we're in a world of constant transition now. And resilience isn't about kind of how we show ourselves as the hero and we can just keep going, ploughing through. Resilience isn't by eliminating the emotions of change. It's going to be all about how it's built by learning how to adapt together. And that's what this group, this community can all be about. So look forward to sharing more with you. Would love to hear your thoughts and stories. Take care.